Hello, authors and book lovers alike. Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers, Chapter 3. We only have a few more days to go before the 14-day celebration of fun filled events that will show you exactly that everyone has a story to tell. That will be this coming October 24th to November 6th. We are now streaming live in our Festival of Storytellers Facebook page, Readers Magnet Facebook page, and Readers Magnet YouTube channel. So I'm your host, Mia, and joining us today is Beverly K. Plauché, the author
Hello.
of the book Walking with the Lord. What a way to go. Hello, Beverly.
Hello.
Yes, how are you feeling today?
I am feeling wonderful.
Yeah, that's perfect. So I'm excited to learn a little more about your book, and I'm sure our audience are too. So to
Okay.
start,
hmm
do you have your book with you? Can you show it to our audience?
Yes, I do. It's right here. Uh,
That's one. I'm a little. Can you move it a little up, a little more uh,
Which way should I move it?
up? Yes, that's perfect. Good. So, Beverly, can you tell us a little bit more about your book? What is it about?
Well, God has done a lot of miracles for me, and I decided I wanted to tell my miracles to people. And I was telling this one lady my miracle, and she said I ought to write a book. It was totally out of my box. 2 weeks later, the same thing happened. So I went home that night and I prayed. I said, Lord, if you want me to write a book, I need the title. Immediately, I got the thought, Walking with the Lord, what a way to go. And I started writing it.
That seems like a very exciting adventure for you. So, when did you realize that you wanted to be a writer?
Well, when God gave me the thought about the book and what to title it, that then I decided I just wanted to write the book. I,
I'm
did,
kind of. Yes. Can you do continue?
I never really decided I wanted to be a writer. I just started writing the book. I didn't know who I was going to publish it through or anything. I just started writing it.
I'm interested to know. You mentioned that when God told you to write, so how did it go? Like, how did you maybe like get the message from God?
Well, he gave me a thought. I just prayed, God, if you want me to write the book, what should I name it or title it? And immediately he gave me the thought, Walking with the Lord, what a way to go. And I'd
Oh,
heard from God before. He had given me thoughts before. And so I knew it was God. I knew I didn't have that thought.
yes, that's a really interesting way to go. So, as a writer, what is your work schedule like when you're writing?
Oh, I'm retired, so I have a lot of free time.
Hmm.
hmm
Are retired? Can I ask what are you retired from? Like,
Oh, I worked for Quaker Oats for 22 years. And then I was a teacher for 20 years. And then I
uh,
decided to retire.
oh, are you like a teacher related to writing? Like maybe a literature teacher or an English teacher, or is it really something?
oh, I hadn't taught. I'd never taught. And I decided that I had to teach something that I could teach. So I taught special ed.
Oh, that's very maybe like different from what you're doing now as a
Uh-huh.
writer.
It really is. Uh-huh.
So, what was one of the most surprising things that you learned in creating your book?
Well,
Do you have?
I learned that you don't get discouraged and you don't quit before you're finished.
That's very inspiring thing. How did you come to realize it? Like maybe was there like a part of your journey that maybe you wanted to quit writing or
No, I just never, God motivated me to do a lot of different things, but I was never motivated to write. So I just kept writing and I kept writing, and it took me about 5 years to get the book written,
oh
but I
so it took
never gave up.
wow that's a lot of like good work you have in there. So what do you think makes a good story, Miss Beverly?
I think that you tell it from your heart and people can learn from it.
So how do you go about like telling your story from
Well,
your heart?
how believe it or not, when we go out to eat,
Hmm.
I'll tell when at the end of the at the end I'll tell the waiter, my husband could hear from God. That gets their thought. That gets their attention, and they want to hear more. So I tell them more. And the person I went out to eat with, she knows a lot about the Bible. So she tells about the Bible, and I tell about my experiences, and they really want to hear it. And some of them even get saved.
So are like the stories in your book your own personal experiences, or is it like
They're my own experiences. It's everything that God has done for me over the last 20
5
20
years,
years.
20 years?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like maybe a particular like favorite part of your book? Maybe a
Well,
favorite experience?
let me tell you, my husband had a vision for going to a French speaking country, and he wanted to do that. Well, we didn't have any money to go or anything. Well, we went to Christ for Nations and went swimming in this. He was telling these guys this vision for Africa, and they said, "See those people in the water? They're from Senegal, Africa." So we met them and everything, but we didn't have any money to go. I worked for the Quaker Oats Company, and they did a cost reduction where if you think of a way to save money, they'll give you back savings. I
Mhm.
worked in Dallas, and this man worked in Chicago, and he put me on the team, and Quaker Oats sent us to Africa.
Wow. So
Yeah.
all of your like visions really came through. I
Yes,
see.
everything, God would always show us what was going to happen, and then it would happen.
Yeah. So it was really your destiny to say the least.
Yes, it was my destiny. So, I
Great.
mean, mm,
Mhm.
yeah, it was
So
wonderful.
yeah, so Beverly, I'm sure our viewers are interested to grab their own copy of your book. So for those who are watching us live, you can grab a copy of Beverly's book, Walking with the Lord, What a Way to Go. Can you show them your book again so they know what exactly to grab?
They can go on Amazon, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll bring it up immediately.
Yes, so you can, again, you can purchase the book on Amazon.com and BarnesandNobles.com.
And it's only $5, I think, and some cents from Amazon.
Yes, so maybe you can go grab a copy of for yourself and for your friends, for your family.
Yes.
Yes. So going back, Miss Beverly, um, at what point do you think someone should call themselves a writer? Like for yourself, for your own personal experience, when did you start calling yourself a writer?
Oh, when let me find it. When I published, um, when I started writing the book, I called myself a writer at that point. When I started writing the book,
So from the very beginning, like the very first attempt, you're already a writer.
yeah. Hmm.
So what do you think is the difference between like a writer and an author? I think they're kind of like interchangeable, but what do
Well,
you?
a writer just puts his thoughts on paper, and an author actually publishes his book.
Yes. So, do you have like any negative experiences, or maybe like do you have any difficulties publishing your book? Did you experience any difficulties in publishing your book?
No, I really never had any problems at all. I was just watching TV, and I saw on TV a publisher, and I just called them, and I had it
Hmm.
all typed on my computer. And she said, just send me a copy, and in a week they were going to publish it.
That was, I guess, God really had a plan for you, and that was to publish the book.
Yes, yes,
He led you through it. That's very great.
yeah.
Do you think there are maybe like therapeutic benefits to like modeling a character after someone you know?
Well, since I write what happens to other people through God and myself. And when I'm writing it, when I'm writing about other people, it gives me deeper thoughts of what I'm writing about. I have deeper thoughts about it. And about
Mhm.
myself, it gives me a better understanding of what I'm writing about.
Um, in the process of like publishing a book, you know, like putting something that you own to the public, there will always be like positive and negative reviews. How do you
Yeah.
maybe like tackle it.
I have always seen the positive in everything. When something bad happens, I can find something good in it. So I'm that way now. Whenever
Yeah.
anything bad happens to me, I say, God, you can take care of it. I trust in you. And then I don't have to worry about it. And so when you reread something or you're doing something like that, you can usually find something to change about it or make it better. And that's my attitude.
Yes, that's very wonderful. I get that you want to focus on the positive side of things, but uh,
Definitely.
yes, but there are maybe like a few circumstances where like there are really tough times that you can just maybe not like ignore them. So, in your book, what was maybe like the hardest scene to write?
Oh my goodness. My son was hunting. We had a son together, and I
Mhm.
was 37 when I had him. And they went hunting together when Bradley was 13, and Bradley shot and killed my husband. And I was so upset. I mean, I never got mad at God. I never got mad at Brad, and I never got mad at Don, but I had a lot of grief.
Mhm.
And so that was something that I just had to get through it. And
Can
Bradley,
you
hmm? and
can you
Bradley,
share how? I like, is it
how
too
I got
personal
through.
or
Yeah,
yes?
it was, well, since I wasn't mad at God, I wasn't mad at myself. I really never was mad. I was just had grief. And Bradley, I had him take hunting lessons, and he came home and he said, "Mom, I used to feel guilty, but I don't anymore because we weren't wearing orange." Because I couldn't talk to him about it because I would cry, and so I knew that he was dealing with it.
So that's how you got through it.
And, and God, when I
Hmm.
when Bradley killed Don, God gave me a lot of faith in him. I just had this supernatural ability to have faith in God. So since I had faith in God, I could deal with it.
Yes, I guess God really pushes you through a lot of difficulties in life.
He has. Well, let me tell you, um, my son, I got him into North Texas University. He was speeding and he got stopped for speeding. And he had marijuana in the car and he got kicked out of school. And he was upset about God. He was upset about a lot of things. And he moved home. He had
Hmm.
been home 2 weeks, and listen to this miracle. He walked up to me and he said, "Mom, I have a joy that only God could give me." God saved him. I
So
never
from your own, yes,
had,
to continue.
I never had heard of that, but I did.
So I guess from your own experiences alone, we can definitely say that your book will have a lot of like inspirational and motivational thoughts in that.
Yes, it will. And people have, when I've told them my stories, they say, "Well, that's not me. It's all God." But they say that was inspirational. I learned a lot from that and stuff like that. So I know that they can get things, and God anoints it too.
Yes. So, uh, we're running a little bit out of time, Beverly. So it was a very inspirational discussion that we had today. So again, to our viewers, if you want to read more and get a little bit more inspired about life, you can purchase Walking with the Lord, What a Way to Go on Amazon.com and BarnesandNobles.com. So once again, thank you so much for today, Beverly.
You're welcome. Be
Yes,
sure to get
thank you.
my book. Be sure to get my book.
Yes, I will. I will. So
I'm
I
just
think,
kidding.
no, no, I'm not kidding. I will really get your book.
Thank
So I
you
think I
so
can
much.
speak. Yes. So I think I can speak for everyone when I say that we can't wait for more inspirational books from you in the future.
Well, I don't have any plans on writing a sequel, but you never
Oh,
know when God might put it on my
yes.
mind.
Yes. Maybe one day he'll inspire you to write
Yeah.
and we will talk about that more.
Okay. Thank
Yes,
you.
because as we say here in Reader's Magnet, we share your stories with the world. Thank you and have a pleasant day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.